really, really love social media. And the reason why I love social media is the sole reason as we can tell so many amazing stories through different types of mediums, through Facebook, through Twitter, through Instagram, through all these new emerging platforms. So it really allows us to tell stories through photography, through video, through writing. So it really allows us to provide just such a different lens to storytelling, which I really, really like, and I can't wait to talk more about it today. So before we jump into the presentation, we do have a really fun poll. I want to know kind of what platform you guys are most interested in, and then hopefully if you guys have any questions, you guys can submit them to us later, but I'm just interested to see what social media platforms are you guys currently using today? Which would be your leading one? I'm so interested. Oh my God, numbers are going. So Instagram, yeah. I find, oh wow, okay. I'm seeing all the numbers coming. Okay, so Facebook, Instagram. Awesome. Okay, so it looks like 82% favor Facebook, while 75% favor Instagram, and yes, Twitter 18%. I know Twitter's a little bit different. We'll touch on a lot about Twitter and the best practices of Twitter later today. YouTube, also great. And TikTok is emerging. It's an emerging platform. And I know a lot of people don't know necessarily how to use it from an organic perspective, but we'll touch a little bit about TikTok as a whole. But this is really interesting. So I would say my favorite platform right now is still Instagram. And I think it's just the ability of being able to do a little bit more on the platform, and we'll touch a little bit about some of the features it has, and I'll give you some of my personal insights, as you guys can say. So yes, thank you guys so much. This is awesome. It's super interesting, and it actually allows me to know where you guys are advertising on, or where you guys are promoting on, or where you guys are just doing some organic social, especially since the type of audiences you guys are reaching primarily are students. I will touch a little bit about how we obviously can help you guys kind of expand that voice and what's the importance about having a brand voice on so many different platforms. So let's jump right in. Yes, awesome. So definition of social media, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I definitely think it's important to kind of see this holistically. So an online destination that gives us, the user, a chance to connect with one or more groups of friends, facilitating sharing of content, news, and information among them. So when I really think about this, I actually think about that it's literally connecting us to so many people around the world on a free platform. It really brings us together. But how do we do this? So we're going to jump right into that, and we're going to tell you a little bit about why social media is so important. So as of today, this was crazy when I was researching this. 4.4 billion users are on social media today. That is insane. That is a crazy number to me. But 92% of the digital population actually uses social media on a given day. That speaks volumes to me. Also, tech is driving us user behavior. So time spent is only increasing. And obviously, given the global pandemic, we've been on social media platforms more so than ever. So it's becoming a centralized hub for content sharing and information knowledge, as we know. And it's universal across all audiences. So despite the platform nuances, so the divide between different platforms, all demographics, depending on whether, from different regions, we're all on social media. So we don't shy away from that. So digital users are glued to social media. I mean, I am, and I can say that not just because I'm the social media manager, but I truly do love social media marketing in general. So between instant messaging and social networks, social media owns the digital time screen. So this is an interesting fact that I actually found out doing this research and doing this web, was that people actually are not going. It's about 57% of people are not going to websites, but they're actually going to social media platforms first. That is huge. That means, do we have the right information on social media platforms? Are we providing them with, educational, consistent information? The fact that people are not going to our websites first means that we need to make sure that we're doing an amazing job at making sure that our information is kind of broadcasted on our platforms. And we'll talk about a little bit of how we can do that today. So how does one stay on top of social media? Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. I kind of want to go back. So how does one stay on top of social media and reach their audiences effectively? Obviously, we're going to find out today, and I really want to make sure that I drive in on how we effectively can reach our audiences. Next slide. Thank you. So we're going to cover awesome topics like choosing your channels for you. That is super, super important. So I know most of you guys, 82% of you guys are on Facebook, but I also want to give you guys an opportunity to kind of open your eyes, look at the horizon of what social media can provide for us. And hopefully you guys can find different platforms that actually speak to your audience. The power of social media, so why it's so important. Best practices and considerations. These are just kind of tips and tricks that you guys can think about and have at the back of your pocket, just to make sure you guys actually understand the platform and the importance of each platform. Using social media for your brand. So really identifying your brand and your brand voice. Analytics. Analyze, and the importance of actually looking at analytical data and the importance of how it actually governs your social media marketing. And then social media tools. So I want to provide you guys with some tools that have helped me through my 10 years of social media marketing and how they really helped me kind of govern and kind of lay out my content for the future. Yeah. Awesome. So choosing the platform for you. So these are 6 tips that I want you guys to consider when you're thinking about choosing the best platform for you. Start with your audience. Get to know them. Find out what channels they're on. Look at all the information that you guys have. Since you guys are the owner and the property owners of your social media channels, you have access and the behind the scenes look is like I like to call it, on the type of people that are actually like your audience. Where are they coming from? Is it more male and female? What regions are they coming from? That's really important to understand. Okay, so maybe we have 52% of our audience between the ages of 18 to 37. Are we giving them the right content? These are good questions that you need to keep asking yourself. But starting with getting to know your audience is super, super important. Consider your company. Is your company growing? If so, what channels are people most engaged on? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? How can we cater to those platforms and to make sure that our company marketing goals kind of align? And this kind of goes to researching your competitors in your industry. Some people don't like doing this, and I actually find it quite interesting. I want to know what my competitors are doing, and I want to see if I can do it better. But I also want to know what are the pros and cons. Can I do a SWOT analysis? Do I need to keep looking at the importance of what the information that they're doing versus us? It really gives you a really good hindsight of the information of what they're kind of pushing out, and if you guys also can do it better, but also just different ways that you guys can kind of connect with your audiences as well. And like I said, align your overall social media marketing goals with your overall company goals. That's super, super important. So if your company has these big, big goals, they're going to be expanding, they're going to be growing, they want to achieve different markets, how can your social media marketing goals support that? And that's super, super important that you kind of collaborate with your team members as well. And then obviously understand different platforms and the usages of the platform. So get to know different channels. Where your audiences are. Is it the right channel? Is it right to be on Facebook? Are you guys getting the most engagement? If not, I feel like right now, a lot of the student population, I feel, is migrating towards Instagram and new emerging platforms like TikTok. And the reason for this is, yes, given the global pandemic, hey, a lot of students have, I've started to see that the Gen Z, millennial kind of, I would say, demographic is really emerging to those channels. But it's also important for me not to just jump ship and go from Instagram and go from Facebook to Instagram, but it's important for me to understand the different platforms and what we have to offer. And then keep in mind your available resources. I think it's really important to constantly research. Even though I have 10 years of experience in this field, I am always researching new trends, reading new blogs, looking at different tools that can help me better my social media marketing plans. Next slide. Okay, so the power of social media. So thank you. So the power of social media. So you have social media up here, And I always like to look at these 4 main pillars and why they're so important when you're thinking about the power of social media or just thinking about social media in general. So one, we know social media offers value. We also know that social media offers awareness, relationships, and success. And this all kind of funnels down to, it provides us with quick information. It provides us with customer insights. So it actually gives us a full-on sentiment. We're able to see if our consumers like the content we're posting. It gives us an opportunity to understand what they want and what they don't want. So it really gives us a holistic customer insight onto, is my company, is my content of value? Is it showing awareness? Am I building a relationship? Is it successful? It also provides us with market research. So it allows us to see what's trending, what's important. Do we need to jump ship? Do we need to see, oh my God, there's a hashtag that's trending right now. Do we need to start doing something about this? How can we keep up with the times? Is something I always say to even my coordinators is, what can we keep doing and what are we looking at? Like, are there trending hashtags? Are there new TikTok trends? Are there things that we can do that's happening within the market that we can jump on that can make our content just more relevant? Social listening. This is huge. I always make sure that we take some time throughout our week to kind of do some social listening. And the reason for this is it allows us to understand our audience conversations in real time. We can actually jump in and talk to our audiences in real time. So don't shy away. If someone messages you, don't ignore them. Think about ways that you guys actually can respond to them in a really great, I would say in a really great timely fashion, obviously like really quickly, but also it just allows us to see what our audience is talking about. I follow hashtags. I make sure that if our audiences are sharing our posts, I thank them for it. So just making sure that you also have kind of like that humanness to your platforms is super, super important. And lastly, it's a free platform. So some people I know, I've always been kind of, at first when I started out, really shy to promote myself across all platforms. But it's really important to understand that these are free channels for us. We're not having to spend millions of dollars on billboards or advertising. We can use these platforms as the main resource, the main hub, that centralized hub for our communication, which is super, super important. So these are just some examples that ApplyBoard has done in terms of sharing the, the power of social media and what it can do. So we actually did something for Pride Month not too long ago. And so we showed that our company, is of value. It's a value to a diverse community. We want to be inclusive. We want to make sure that people understand that aside from the day-to-day communication that we need to provide as ApplyBoard, we also want to make sure that we are providing a value to not just our internal staff, but also to our external communities. Awareness. So we just launched amazing backpack where we gave 1,000 backpacks to Indian students. And this honestly just brings so much awareness to all the amazing stuff that we're doing here at ApplyBoard, the stuff that we're raising. And it just allows us to also not just do the day-to-day stuff where we need to communicate such big announcements, but it also allows us to say, hey, we're supporting our community in different ways. And then success. So I'm not sure if most of you guys know, but we've received some really amazing funding. And so it's really important that we have our CEO, Martin, at the forefront of our video, just showcasing the success of what this money is going to bring us and all the amazing things that we're going to be doing in the years to come. So best practices. And this is something that I really love talking about. So what are best practices for social media platforms? So it's really about understanding each platform and what it really has to offer. So Facebook, it receives the most engagement when video is associated to this. So these are some really good tips. I know you guys are going to get this presentation, so don't feel like you have to write anything down, but these are really good insights for you guys to think about when you're thinking about your content calendar and the content that you guys want to post. So Facebook receives the most engagement when video is attached to it, organic images. So this is what I mean about organic images, not those super stock heavy photos. Think about organic images from your company itself. Have you guys recently done an event? Can you actually, include that video or that event photo that you guys have within your actual post? Those are something really good things that people want to see. You're actually, your employees, or just like organic images that really kind of represent your company holistically with like passion and pride. And also think about live video. I'm not sure if you guys have been doing live videos on Facebook, but it's really, really awesome for engagement, and it really builds up your audience and your following. It holds more content for stories and information, so you don't need to be capped with a small post. I know with Twitter, you only can do it up to 250 characters. But with Facebook, consider maybe this platform actually writing a lot more content. Maybe you want to write an article. Maybe you want to write more information about a program that you guys are doing. Maybe you guys want to write more information about a product you guys are selling. So it holds more information, and don't feel like you need to cut it. It's actually really amazing what Facebook has done in terms of providing us with such an opportunity to write more, I would say write more storytelling content. So I would consider doing max 10 posts per week, with at least 3 of those offering conversational topics. And when I mean conversational topics, I mean directly talk to your audience. See how they're doing. See if this is the content that they want. I always like to do like polls or questions. I always want to ask our audience, how are you guys doing? Is this content, important? Just like I did with the polls today. What polls or what information is really appealing to you? How are you guys doing today? Hello, we're here from so-and-so. Like, the conversational topics really allows you guys to kind of steer away from just the day-to-day information that you guys have to apply or have to provide to your audience. And it really allows you just to have that persona that you guys want. And then use a mix of 2 to 5 widely popular hashtags. I know most of you guys are like, I don't know, hashtags are probably not going to give me the reach I want. That's actually a myth. It really does. And especially on Facebook too. Look up widely popular hashtags that you guys can use, whether it's ones that you guys want to use from Apply Board or ones that you guys want to use from your region. It's really, really important to kind of see those hashtags that you guys can kind of use within your post that can offer you even more engagement. Hashtags are really good for research, so discoverability. If I click on a hashtag, it takes me to all the posts that I want to see. And then I can actually find new companies, new information. It's really good for discoverability and research. So best times to post for educational and tech, and I wanted to hone down on the educational, so for the recruitment, for all of you guys who are recruitment partners, and tech as a whole. So the best days to post are Wednesdays and Thursdays. The best times are 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so obviously find out the best time that's 10 a.m. in your region. Worst days, actually, believe it or not, are Sundays, which is very interesting to me. But I think Sundays, the reason why for this is because a lot of people are kind of their downtime. So figure out when the downtime is for your audience. Maybe Sundays are going to be the best day, but through the research I've done in universally, they say Wednesdays and Thursdays are the best days to post for most engagement on Facebook. Don't post more than 3 times on a given day, which is super important because the algorithm on Facebook populates the amount of times that you post. So no more than 3, it will look too saturated. People will look at it to be like, oh, they're kind of annoying. You never want to be annoying. You never want to, provide too much information, but it doesn't mean that you should be posting consistently every single day. And then recycle your content to gain more information. So I love this line because a lot of people feel like, oh, I just posted a blog. I can't repost the blog tomorrow. That's a lie. And the reason why is because the algorithm on social media across all platforms changes consistently. So if you want to post, let's say on Monday, your blog post, post it again on Thursday, post it again on Sunday. Keep posting it to see how much your engagement, and actually, this is how you can test your engagement. This is how you can test the best days for posting. Maybe Monday isn't good, but Thursday's better. Maybe Sunday's actually better. This is how you can really, really test your content. And I also believe that recycling content is so, so, so important. Next slide, please. Okay, so Twitter, since only 18% of you guys use Twitter, I just want to kind of talk about a little bit about the reasons as to why we use Twitter and why it's still super important. And hopefully this can help you kind of restructure your social media marketing plans. So Twitter, we also know it's for live social engagement. It's for the fast, quick information that really leads your audience to more information. So you obviously are limited to 250 characters. So you have to be really, really interesting in the type of content or the type of verbiage and copy you guys are posting on Twitter. But I love Twitter for that fast and quick information. I always go to Twitter to find out what's opened, what's closed, what hashtags are trending, what can I adopt in terms of just like the type of trends or type of news that's happening on the platform. So it really is the top social media platform for keeping us up with the latest trends and conversations. And I think it's really, really important for us to have a Twitter platform just to see the type of news and conversations that are related to our audience. I know our audience is mostly students here, but it's really important to see if students are talking about anything, if anything's trending within your region that you guys can adopt on other platforms as well, or just information that you can take back to your team to say, hey guys, I really think we need to, do a blog about this. This has been trending lately within our region. I think it's really newsworthy, and I think it's really good information for us to blast across our platforms. Awesome. So, and the best times to post are Mondays and Thursdays between the hours of 10 a.m. and hours between 1 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Twitter skews really, really, really late, and it's because people like to go on the channel and just kind of skim to see what's important. Oh, this is great. I'm going to save this post for later. So the lifespan of a tweet is only 18 minutes. So be ready to have more content to dish out. As you know, for Facebook, they say limit yourself to 3 posts a day. With Twitter, you can do up to 100 tweets in a given day if you really want. So I really love Twitter for live tweeting events. I think it's really important. Or if you feel like you want to do a poll or a conversational topic, I think it's really, really great. I actually think it's a really great platform for that. And the average time per day is about 30 minutes. So people are on Twitter at least 30 minutes in a given day. Next. Awesome. Instagram, my favorite. So the key to Instagram, as we all know, is the visual. And as you guys can see, video is emerging just even more so than ever. So I want us to kind of consider the visuals that we're looking at, the graphics that we're thinking about. I also want to mention here that try to minimize the text on an actual graphic. So when you're thinking about your in-feed, minimize the amount of text that you guys actually have on that specific graphic. It's really important to kind of think about the visual first and then the copy second. As people are scrolling through, they look at the visual first and foremost. I think some text is good, and as you can see, if you guys go on our Apply Board Instagram channel, you guys can see that we kind of do a bit of both. And I think it's really important to kind of have that, organic imagery mixed with kind of graphic text, and then mixed with the video, because the video is going to be on the rise, and we obviously want to include multimedia within a lot of our social media marketing plans. So the use of hashtags, the more, the better. Think of your top hashtags for your company, but then think of your secondary hashtags that you guys can kind of add into your posts to just get that leverage, to get that visibility, to get that discoverability within your copy. Make sure your content has a purpose or a story. So think about the information that you guys are providing. Think about it. Is it conversational? Is it inspiring? You always want to make sure you're leaving your audience with something, especially if you're wanting to drive them back to your website or to read a blog or to gain more information. Make sure that you guys have the ability to be like, if it's going to be in feed, drive them to your stories, then drive them to your actual link in bio, which is really important. So if you want to do a post that says, read more about our blog, visit our link in bio, that's actually something that I would recommend you guys to do. It allows them to say, oh, there's more information about this subject. I want to read more. Thank you so much, Apply Board. And like I said, add more live or video first content is super important. Jump on Instagram Lives. People love Instagram Lives. And the reason for this is because it actually, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Instagram, but the little icon on the top, the minute you guys go live, all your audience members gets notified that you guys are going live at this time. So they will jump on that live and see what you guys are talking about and what you guys are doing. So it actually prompts them and sends them a notification that you guys are going live, which is amazing. So if you guys have really important information to disclose to your audience, I would say do a live at least once a month. It's really fun. We do them here at Apply Board, and honestly, it provides us with such good content, and we actually see such good engagement from our audiences. So the best times to post for education and tech The best day is Friday and Thursday. And I want to mention that our Apply board Instagram is really kind of catered to students as well as recruitment partners like yourself. And so we've also found that Friday actually is a really, really great time to post. And it's because people are kind of going off to the weekend and they want to see what's readily available for them and any type of content that they want. So the best times to post is also 4 p.m. to 5 a.m. 5 a.m. to 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. and then 2 p.m., which is really interesting. So, and the reason for this, and this is where I found in my research, was that when you're posting super early in the morning, that's the first post that they'll actually see, which is shocking to me. So when you're thinking about scheduling your content, schedule it for 5 a.m. because the minute someone wakes up in the morning to start work or, go about their day, they'll actually see your posts first and foremost, and they'll probably engage with it more so than ever. And then again, the worst day to post is Sunday. And at least post once a day to your feed or story. I really, really kind of stress this. Post every single day, even if it's something small, even if it's just a conversational topic, like I mentioned, even if you're just asking how people's days are, you're doing a poll, it's really, really important to post at least once a day. And test out all platform outlets. Do an IGTV, look at reels, look at guides. Instagram is just such a great platform. It allows us to do so many different things on the platforms. It allows us to kind of dissect our content into a reel, into an IGTV, into a story, into a guide. Please. Awesome. LinkedIn, amazing. So we actually didn't have LinkedIn on our little poll. We forgot about that, but I would be interested to see how many people are on LinkedIn too. But LinkedIn is emerging. It's such a great platform, I think, for all of us to be on, not just from a professional standpoint, but also from an informational standpoint. It really took a big leap through the last 2 years during COVID. We've seen in LinkedIn just kind of emerge and provide us with so many great resources for us and our audience. So share industry-specific content or company-wide information. It is great for sharing. I encourage you guys to share other content, either if it's from Apply board or from any partners that you guys have great relationships with. It's really good for visibility. So the minute you share somebody else's post, you just garner even more discoverability and visibility on your platform. I would encourage you guys to use 3 hashtags to broaden like broad ones and then 1 niche one. So for instance, our niche one is help us educate the world, but our broad one is international students, or our broad one can be, something related to visas, something that's super important. So think about your niche one and then think about 2 broad ones that you guys can always kind of link up to your posts. It's super important. Try to stay at least, I would say, 25 words or less. And the reason for this is because when you've seen a LinkedIn post, it actually cuts your content. So it cuts your copy. So think about at least 25 words so viewers can see the full content and the full post, and then have a really, really compelling visual or video. So content, like I said, is key here. So be prepared to engage and inspire your audience on LinkedIn. Everyone wants, I think LinkedIn is a very feel-good platform. They always want to see how good your company's doing. They want to see all the great things that you guys can want to share, what's happening within your industry. It's very, very informational. It's kind of steering towards more of like a news platform. I know every morning I go on to see what's happening, to see what's trending, to see what our company is talking about, and if I want to react really quickly on a really good topic. So the best times to post for education and tech is Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And the best time to post is 7 to 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and then 5 to 6 p.m. So you can see LinkedIn is super active during the entire day. And it's because people love sharing feel-good information. People love sharing how good their company is doing. They love to send out resources. They love to share other companies' successes. So think about that. When I think about LinkedIn, I think about it being such a success pillar. So going back to, why is the power of social media and those, value, awareness, success. I think about that being a very successful platform, and think about how you guys can use that within your strategy. So a max of 2 to 3 posts per day. So you can actually post pretty well. The algorithm really helps us. So if you guys post in the morning and then in the afternoon and then do an evening post, a lot of people will engage with your posts and your content. And then articles are another great option. So they actually offer long form content. It's just like Facebook, you actually can write an article. And so if you have a blog that you guys want to feature, think about actually showcasing your blog on LinkedIn too. So you can write a post and then you guys can click back to your article page and you guys actually can get more engagement on the platform instead of getting people off the platform. And so these are other platform considerations that I want to obviously bring to your attention. So as you guys can see, YouTube, 35% of you guys loved YouTube, which is great. And I love YouTube as well. Video is becoming one of the most valuable content drivers, as I know. So we're not going to be, seeing less video. We're only going to be seeing more video. So 53% of YouTube audience members say they learned something new from the platform. I know I go to watch cooking videos, or I go to watch information, or if I'm going to research a new region or a new topic, I actually go to YouTube. It's really resourceful. So thinking about that type of content and seeing how you guys want to display some of the resource tools that you guys have within your company. TikTok. I know only 5% of you guys are on TikTok or like TikTok. And believe it or not, it actually, during the pandemic, was the most engaged, user-friendly, active platform in the entire world. So it's only going to grow from here. And I think it's really important for us to start thinking about that strategy. I wanted to mention here that the largest demographic is Gen Z. So it's that 18 to 30-year-old or 25-year-old demographic that's super, super active. And during the pandemic, so many educational, even healthcare researchers have been on TikTok to educate us and provide us with news, which is really important. So just a rule of thumb, keep the captions and video content catchy and trending. And it really kind of helps us to see what's out there, to see what we obviously want to kind of do within our other platforms. But it really, you want to add just like popular hashtags for growth as well. But it's a really good platform for us to consider to see what are some information topics that our students are thinking about. How can we be fun and different on the platform? So it kind of allows us to have our personality and our persona kind of really embedded within TikTok, which is nice. Snapchat, I wanted to put Snapchat here because I think from a paid perspective, it's really, really great. I think from an organic perspective, I wouldn't personally use it for a company. I think just because it's such a human-to-human interaction, but the paid component for Snapchat is amazing. So I would definitely encourage you guys to think about it, especially, again, for that Gen Z, that 18-year-old to 25-year-old demographic. A lot of them are on it, and a lot of them get their news and information, especially if it's thinking about schools. And so I know when I was working at a university, we used Snapchat for paid promotion, and I want to definitely mention that to you guys here today. And then Reddit, I'm not sure if many of you guys are familiar with Reddit, but I would recommend you guys just kind of having Reddit as more of a trend watching platform. So be a member. I would say give more in terms of give more information. Don't use it as a promotional platform, but use it as an engagement platform. So engage with your audience, see what they're talking about. I love going on to it. I love going on to just see the forums, to see what people are talking about. If our sentiment on Reddit is good, if it's bad, how do we change that language? How can we insert ourselves within the dialogue as well? Your brand. So we're going to go through just kind of identifying your brand. It's super, super important to think about your brand when you think about social media in general. So we can go to the next slide. Thank you. So as you guys are probably familiar with all these logos, these are just top brands that obviously we've seen through our entire lives, whether it's Starbucks, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, IBM, Ford, Barbie. These are all brands that we're super, super familiar with. And so the words that are surrounding them, these are 7 key branding principles that I want you guys to consider when you're thinking about your brand. Consistency. So being consistent. I can't stress this enough. We need to be consistent on social media, because the minute we aren't, so the minute we go, let's say 4 days without posting, the minute our algorithm drops and the minute our audience starts forgetting about us. So when we think about all these brands, we think, oh my God, they're so consistent. They're in our faces. They're always talking to us. They're always offering more information. Educational. We always want to make sure that our brand, believe it or not, even though if we're not an educational first platform, we always want to make sure that we're providing them with some sort of education, whether it's about new products, it's just about just educating them on something new and exciting. We always want to make sure that we have an educational aspect to our brand. We want to be impactful always. We always want to be impactful, whether we're just providing them with new resource tools, or we're just letting them know that our company has succeeded, or we want to make sure that we are, providing them with the right information and the right knowledge at the best time. We always want to make sure that we're an impactful brand, and how we do that is just providing them with awareness messaging, going back to the success messaging. So we want to make sure that we're doing good, and that our audience sees that and they trust us. We want to be relevant. We never want to be behind. We always want to be 2 steps forward. So that's why it's important to be on those channels. It's always really good to, check out those hashtags, see what's trending, see what's emerging. Do we need to be on different platforms? I always stress that, it's really important as social media marketers or people that are in the industry to see what's happening, what's emerging. Do we need to, do we need to pivot? Do we need to change? So being relevant is super, super important when we're thinking about our marketing plan holistically. Empowering. We always want to be empowering. We always want to provide empowering messaging. And I think I like to be empowering through conversational topics. I always want to kind of boost our audience, thank our audience, make our audience excited. We always want to kind of provide that, empowering messaging to say, you've got this. Good luck on your exams. Good luck on your first day at school. These are, just empowering messaging that you guys can take from, from your mission statement or from your company marketing goals to kind of just, execute in social media, and just making sure that you guys have empowering messaging and content. Like I mentioned before, being valuable, it's super important to be valuable. It's kind of just goes back to making sure that we're providing them with impactful messaging, educational resources, or just being valuable in the sense of we're posting consistently. So they're just, we have an onus to them, and we want to make sure that they understand and they trust our brand. And being resourceful. So we always want to provide our audience with resources. So links back to our website, products that they need to discover, information that they want to hear about. So this is an amazing quote when I was doing some research that I found, and I think it's really important. So you can have a brand without a voice. And the core values are what makes you, you, which is super, super important. So when you're thinking about your social media platforms, you want to make sure that you have a brand. So look at those words. What identifies you? What is you? What are things that you guys are, and what are things you guys not? What represents your brand? And I think it's really important because that's how you'll be able to discover your voice. So when I think about social media, I don't want to be super structured. I want to make sure that Facebook has a voice, Instagram has a voice, LinkedIn has a voice, Twitter has a voice, and they all kind of have the same brand. They all have the same identity because we're Applied Board, but each platform talks differently to their audience. Maybe on Facebook, I have more of a student, partner institution audience, but then on LinkedIn, I have more of a corporate audience. So I have to speak to those 2 people very differently. And how do we do that? It's identifying your voice and your brand. And these words will help. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the brand voices and these words that kind of will talk a little bit about how you guys can interject these into your company and your social media platforms. So your brand voice. So I always go back, valuable, valuable, valuable. So I always say show, don't tell. Show your audience what you guys are doing through videos or through photos. Don't tell them what you guys are doing. And this is really, really key because it's really easy to just say, this is what we're about. This is what we have. But it's really important to kind of show that story, tell that narrative. Storytelling is so amazing on social media. And I think we tend to forget about it and want to be super promotional. Like just what we want to just, give. But at the same time, I think we want to give more and ask for less back. So that's also super important. And we also want to understand our audience needs. So we always want to be able to show them the type of resources that we have, the type of information that we have, the resources that we have. We don't just want to tell them. And I know it's a little hard to kind of understand that concept, but I think when you think about the storytelling aspect of your brand and of your company, then it's going to be easy to translate that through social media. So be passionate, have an identity, be acknowledgeable, be encouraging, praise your audience. It's really important to kind of showcase all the amazing wins that you guys have, but also that you guys are a passionate brand, that you guys love your audience, you guys love the things that you guys are doing. You want to lead by example, and you want to be a champion in your field. You always want to kind of showcase that success story, those elements, so people trust your brand, which is super, super important. Accountable. So be clear and transparent. We never want to give false information. I think sometimes it's really easy to kind of say, yes, yes, we'll do it, especially when, people are messaging us or we're kind of doing the social listening and we're seeing them. We want to be like, yes, we'll provide you that. But in reality, we can't, or in a timely fashion. So it's really easy to be clear and transparent. And I think sometimes as brands, we're really afraid to do that. But I think our audience members will actually respect the fact that we're being clear and transparent. So, hi Samantha, so sorry we can't get back to you today, but our customer care representative will get back to you in a short amount of time. Here's more resources about ApplyBoard, and you can link back to our company. We want to commit to improvement too. And so if, let's say something, we couldn't provide them with the resources or the tools that they need, we want to commit to being able to kind of take that back to our team to say, hey guys, people are asking us about this, about this product, and it's not looking really good online. People are saying really bad things about this. How can we improve it? And then that becomes a whole marketing plan for you guys. And like I said, be responsive, communicate, don't ignore, never ignore your audience. If someone's reaching out to you for help, talk to them. If you don't know the answer, let them know that you'll get back to them. It's always super important that we're clear and transparent. And I think sometimes we forget that we're also a human behind the screen and they're a human behind their screen. And so it's just two humans talking to two humans. And I think it's really important that we maintain accountability to our audience, and we're just clear and transparent. Approachable. So we want to focus on our audience first and foremost. Those are the people that are going to engage with us. Those are the people that we want to obviously make sure that they have the right information. So we want to make sure that we're using inviting language, that we're fun. We want to make sure that we're ourselves. If there's a cool lingo, or if there's really cool verbiage that you guys want to use, I think it's good to be fun. I know one of our core values here at ApplyBoard is to be fun. So I want to make sure that we kind of have that on our platforms. I want to make sure that someone comes to our platforms and knows that we are ourselves, we're ApplyBoard, we're using inviting language, we're not using, an exclusive language. We want to make sure that we're inclusive to our audiences. Analytics. So I'm not sure how many of you guys do any data or kind of look at your platforms, but I definitely think analytics. I know when I started out, I was like, oh, I don't want to do analytics. It seems so boring. It's so many numbers. But in all honesty, it actually helped me create my marketing plan, and it actually helped me figure out which platforms I needed to focus more attention on and what platforms I didn't need to focus more attention on. So it's actually super, super important to do your research. So let's go to the next slide, and we're going to analyze your content. So analyze your content. Always do this. Take some time, whether it's at the end of the month or within the year, to measure. So look at your reach, look at your engagement, look at your sentiment, look at your audience growth, and find out which best performing content piece was happened that month or that year. And it's really important to kind of figure out why. And through your research, you'll actually be able to figure out through reach and engagement and sentiment why that post performs so well. Also looking at the time, looking at the time of day, the type of content. Did it have a good visual? Did it have a video? So it's really important to kind of measure your content so that you guys, when you guys are planning, you guys actually can see what's important, what worked, what didn't work, when you guys have to pivot. So, and then improve your performance. Like I said, social listening and questions to your audience will definitely help. Are we doing this well? What more information do you want to learn about? Do you guys want to learn about X, Y, and Z? Are you guys understanding, this platform? Things like that. So it's really important to just ask questions. This is how you guys get feedback, and this is how you guys are able to change your content calendar. And then A/B testing. So don't be afraid to try new things on social. I think it's super important to always A/B test your posts. I can't stress this enough. So if you're going to have a post with a copy with a different image, and then the same copy and then different image, it's good to see how well your posts are performing. And I think, like I said, recycling your content on different days is super important to see your metrics and to see what's working and what's not working. tools and resources. So I know some of these might not apply to all of you guys, but I know that tools and resources through social media have definitely helped me just kind of govern my content calendar, allow me to schedule things. So we're going to flip to the next page. And we're going to jump in. So yes, so scheduling tools. I'm not sure if some of you guys are looking at scheduling tools, but these really, really, really help us here at Applyboard kind of schedule our content for the month. So thinking about Sprout Social, Hootsuite, and later, those are some of the platforms that I looked at. I would encourage you guys to research them or research ones that are in your area and kind of see which ones would help you guys kind of schedule. So what you guys would do is you're able to draft all your posts and you don't even need to think about it. You can draft them, schedule them, and then they just literally populate on your feed without you guys actually having to think about it, which is amazing. And it saves you guys so much time. And then thinking about a content calendar, it's really important to kind of think about what are the themes I want to talk about? What are my company goals? What are our marketing goals? And now what are our social media content themes? And then I'm taking those themes and applying that into a content calendar. So some content calendars I've used are TeamUp, which is a free tool, Planly, and Airtable. They really helped us kind of making sure that our content is scheduled. I know what blogs are going out at what time. I know when I actually have a lull. Oh my God, there's no content going out that week. What can I think about? Okay, let me grab from my content bank. Let me put that into my content calendar. So it's super important to have a content calendar so you guys can see, and also your team members can see what you guys are doing and what you guys are going to be talking about. And then for design purposes, if you guys are thinking about, trying out, if you guys don't have graphic designers within your company, it's really good these tools are actually helped me so much. Canva, Dribbble, and Unsplash. Unsplash is just a photo bank tool that you guys can use. But also thinking about just like these are free platforms for design purposes. So thinking about ways that you guys obviously could kind of quickly think about how you guys can make a design or make a post for LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. And then thinking about shortening your URLs. No one ever wants to see a really long URL within a post. So Bitly, for example, you guys could literally plug in your website URL or your resource URL, whatever website you guys are obviously wanting to drive your audience back to. You guys can take that URL, put that into Bitly, and it actually shortens it, and it makes the copy and your post look really nice. So like I said, see what's available in your region that will help you streamline your content. These tools have helped me so much. But first and foremost, I would tackle a content calendar first and then get scheduling tools to help you guys execute your content. So last but not least, key takeaways. So like I said, consistency is key. I encourage you guys to post at least once a day, if not more. Especially if you guys are primarily on Facebook and Instagram, I would just post any type of information about your company, any resources that you guys have. Look at your marketing goals, look at your company goals, see what you guys have going on, and just post information. It's really good to be active just because the algorithm on social media is always changing. So you want to make sure that you're consistent, you're visible to your audience. People know that you guys are there, you're not too silent. The minute you guys go dark, they're like, oh, are they there? Are they not there? Are they talking? They want to make sure that you're a resource to them. So consistency is key. I can't stress that enough. And then, like I said, set your social media goals first and foremost. See what your company goals are, and then set your social media goals to support those company goals. But then also have social media goals separately from your company goals. So this is what I want to achieve on Facebook. I want to grow my audience to X. How do I do that? Okay, I do that because I need to post every single day. I need to provide really good information. This is what my data told me about my audience, and this is what I need to do. So you can have separate goals from your company goals and your marketing goals, but definitely set those out. It can be one, it can be two, but it's really important to kind of have that vision when you're planning. Create a brand voice. So going back to those words, making sure you have a brand voice, understand your brand voice. So what are you guys and what are you guys aren't? Keeping that at the forefront. If you're fun, if you want to be a fun platform, if you want to be a fun brand, if you want to be a reliable source or inspiring brand, think about those things within your social media marketing plans, and then that will definitely help you guys kind of establish the type of audience that you guys want to attract. And then track your growth. I think it's really important to see how good you guys have been, obviously, increasing in terms of platform audiences. So it's really important to track your growth. So analyze. This is really good to kind of go back to your company to say, you know, we grew X in the last given year, and this is why. And develop those key hashtags. So I know, you know, some people have this myth, like I said before, that hashtags don't help. They actually 1000% do help. So develop those hashtags for visibility and discoverability. Engage with your audience. So making sure that you have those conversational topics, talk to them, see what they want, see what they like, see what they don't like. And then consider the use of multimedia. So definitely think about, you know, really good visuals, but also think about how you guys can incorporate video content on YouTube, on Facebook, and then on Instagram.